What's up, Raiders? Bionic here. Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video where I want to obviously talk about this upcoming tournament. And I know I'm not the first one to do it, but still I thought I would give my 2 cents on the subjects. I have a team for you guys. I also have a couple screenshots, but first I want to go over the big question is it worth it? Is it worth it to go out of your way to build a team for this? It depends. It depends on what sort of like champions you would be building. Are these champions you could reuse elsewhere? Also, if we look at the milestone rewards, if there's a void shard on top for about 3,200 points and we have 4 days to do it, and we typically get about at least 800 energy per day, free energy, I'm gonna say that's a good trade-off. Even if you end up having to buy 1 refresh or maybe 2 or even 3, even 4, it's still a good deal. Paying like 80 gems or 120 gems for a void shard plus an epic tome on top is a good enough deal. Okay, so of course I'm gonna try this. We also have on top of that, if I'm not mistaken, a Dungeon Divers event which is ongoing. Therefore you're gonna get even more rewards for just attempting this, especially if you can make it to the core hammers. Core hammers are always nice. They allow you to craft some of the new sets, which is pretty decent. Okay, before we jump into my team and then I'm going to show the builds of these champions, I want to quickly shout out to Hell Hades and Stu Gaming because they showed possible teams, right? This one has a lot of rares, but this is what I mean by going out of your way. I don't have a Gnarlhorn built, I don't have a Fleshmonger, I don't have Haruspex, so I'm not gonna build these champions just for this tournament when all my faction wars are done anyway, and I really wouldn't have any more use for these champions. I got the Bellower, I got the Occult Brawler, maybe you can play around with those. Then we saw one from Stu Gaming, I believe he shows 2, one towards the end, but like this is, you know, full legendaries. I do have the Rosin, but I don't have Fushan, I got Broadma, and I certainly don't have 2 Dracomorph. Still, this is a very, very nice time. So you can still get some pretty insane times depending on what kind of team you are going to build. But for myself, it was about grabbing whatever champions that I currently have built on my account, not changing them, not investing a single amount of silver onto these champions and hoping that it works. I got 2 runs in so far. 1 went well, the second one didn't go so well, but it still managed to finish. So if anything, this is not necessarily a 100% success rate, but still, we're gonna see if we can just make it work with what I have. Of course, though, you also want to try and build something that's gonna be relatively fast, right? You don't want your runs to take 10 minutes because it's just going to be complicated for you to burn through all that energy throughout the day, because you'll constantly have to sort of like be coming back pressing replay, unless of course you have an auto clicker, but I don't do that. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna go with my team. I decided to put in the Zorgala for my decreased defense and weaken. We have the allies join attack as well as increase attack from the Krila Witch Arm, a stun, which is always nice. We have the Broadma, which has the increased speed and increased crit rate, which is nice for the Seer, because if that's already up before the Seer goes and takes her turn, she's going to go into straight a Karma Burn. However, I'm not properly tuned for this to work, and like I said, I don't want to spend silver on this, so I'm gonna try it anyway, see how it goes. And we have our Occult Brawler, our Poisoner, which is basically only there for the boss. Okay, so Poisoner for the boss, and then like our clearing potential for the waves is the Krila, the Zorgala, and the Seer. Our Broadma is there to somewhat save us if things start going south. Okay, so let's go right into a run, hoping that this one works as well. Seer is first, not perfect. Okay, we got the AoE increase crit rate and increased attack. Boom. So first wave, no problemo. This can work like it typically does for my Dragon 20 run because I usually have a Seer in there, okay? But now, the second wave, I am assuming is going to be a problem. We don't have a whole lot of crowd control, and we need to cycle back around to our Karma Burn on Seer. I typically have a Renegade in here that's going to refresh all these skills, and then things usually work out. Also, the what's his name, the Occult Brawler is the weak affinity, so he's taking the hits. That's also not so great. I need this guy to be back up for the boss because that guy is the guy to take down the boss. Hoping he doesn't die here. Okay, so far we're good. AoE decreased defense, that's nice. Can we go into a Karma Burn from Seer, please? Come on, Seer, work your magic. There we go. 53 seconds, pretty decent. Let's see the boss now. Decreased defense and weaken, yes please. Allies join attack. Oh no, that's the AoE from Krila, increase attack. Probably not going to come back to the Karma Burn from Seer on time though. I'm thinking these are going to drop. However, that's also why I have a Broadma there, because that's more buffs. So I'm hoping that everything sort of lines up. Sort of. We busted that shield. That's beautiful. We don't even have poisons really at this point. There's that karma burn. So we're down to 50% already at about a minute 25 seconds. I'm usually done here with my main build, but that's all right. If this can work out with these champions with 0 silver invested, I'm good with it. Let's go for more poisons. Come on, Cold Brawler, load up this guy. Seer's taking extra turns. That's built into her A1. We can't predict that, so it's hard to work with that because it sort of like means everything's going to fall out of sync. But you know what? It's part of the game. Uh-oh, we're close to done. If Broadma dies, that's a little bit of a problem. But you know what? I have lifesteal on the Cold Brawler and Krila, so I'm thinking these two can almost finish the boss if I load up enough poisons, which I do already anyway. So you know what? I'm going to say that this is going to work most of the time. Okay, so here's a run at 2 minutes. I think I have more screenshots for you guys. Here's a run at a minute 57 seconds, same team. And I believe then I have one at 3 minutes. And this is the one where a Cold Brawler and Krila were the only one left standing, okay? So they finished the boss, so I know it can somewhat work. It might fail over time. I only have 3 runs done so far, but I'm gonna roll with this. I'm gonna say that this is my good enough team, right? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. So now let's go over these champions. Here's a quick snapshot of my Lydia. I'll make a build video on her pretty soon though. All right, here we go. The first one we have our only legendary, which is a crafted one. It is Krila, Witch Arm, a big work in progress. This is nothing special. I am going to build her for clan boss. She doesn't have enough speed. Just whatever. For the time being, just sort of like, you know, accept that this is what I have on my account for her. Her speed needs to be a little bit more. We have roughly enough accuracy, 212. Crit rate, I want to hit 100%. Crit damage, obviously, I want this to be as high as possible because I also want her to deal some damage. Defense is even too low anyway for the clan boss. So we have 4 pieces of lifesteal and then 2 pieces of speed. We do have an accuracy banner, crit damage amulet. Not sure I have a cleansing amulet. Probably the only thing I had lying around. We have an HP ring with some defense percent and attack percent. As for her chest piece, it's defense percent and 4-star crit damage gloves. Anyway, no skills are done yet, but I do think I will have to rank this up. That's the big goal here. I'm going to spend some legendary tomes once I put her in the clan boss for this to be at 100% and probably on a 3-turn cooldown. So I'm hoping it doesn't use up all those legendary tomes. As for the masteries, we have offense and support. We do have Evil Eye, but this was built for the faction wars. So I'm thinking this is going to change, all right? Probably going to go into offense and defense once the gear is a little bit better. You also kind of don't want Cycle of Magic to trigger when you're against the clan boss. So this is not a complete build. Okay, don't copy this. I'm just showing it because I want you guys to see what I'm currently using. Then we have, what's his name? Broadma. Broadma is in a sleep set or days set because probably the only gear I had lying around extra for faction wars. So this guy has a not maxed out defense percent chest, defense percent gloves, probably speed boots. Yeah, here are the rest of the pieces real quick, nothing too fancy. So for the ring, we have HP, okay. Amulet, we have defense, that's good. And then accuracy for the banner. The skills, are they all done on this guy? No. What I'm doing is I'm waiting until I fuse more copies of this guy, then I'm feeding it into him as extra copies. Because every once in a while, if you have an extra Broadma fusion ready to go, that's extra points in a champion chase tournament. Okay, so pro tip there for you guys. And when you have those copies, just feed them right in here. Masteries. I was going for, I guess, Fearsome Presence to hopefully have a little bit more crowd control in Faction Wars. Also had Evil Eye. This can be interesting, Spirit Haste, because he is a reviver, so if your champions go down, then you can hopefully be a little bit faster and bring them back up. So overall, again, I'd say maybe don't blindly copy this, okay? Next one, we have, what did we do? We did the Zorgala. Zorgala is built sort of like a nuker. I use her in a lot of keeps. I have used her as a nuker in the arena before. She's kind of like one of my main force type nukers. And her stats are reasonable, okay, 4.2k attack. I'd like this to be closer to 4.5, 4.6k. 200 speed is nice though. I'm not gonna lie, I love having 200 speed on my nukers. Then we have 100% crit rate, which is beautiful. 240% crit damage. This could be better if I had 6-star gloves. And she would basically be on par with my Foley. My Foley has almost, or basically has 255%. Okay, crit damage, and that attack is a little bit higher. I was trying to reproduce the same thing here on my Zorgala. Ended up making that work with 4 pieces of Cruel, and 2 pieces of Divine Crit. As for the amulet, 6-star crit damage, of course. The ring is attack, and the banner is accuracy, because I am also using her as a somewhat debuffer, okay? So hitting that sweet spot of 200, 220 accuracy is still kind of important on this champion. All her skills are done. Masteries, we have Helm Smasher, so that's 240% crit damage with Helm Smasher, and still missing 6-star gloves, so she'd be at 255% as well. Then we have the Occult Brawler. That's right, our Occult Brawler has a clan boss build with some, I'm gonna say, very good gear. The reason for this is because he's HP base, might as well be attack base, because his skills scale off of attack, right? And for him to get these stats, 3.5k defense, if not more, and then almost 3k attack, I had to use some really good gear. 65% crit rate, typically has a Battle Khazar in the lead, so he has usually more crit rate than this. Crit damage is unfortunately low, but that's because he's a poisoner, number 1, and accuracy is a little bit too low. A little bit too low. This would need maybe an extra 20, but that's because I tried to work with a defense banner for this guy, okay? So the accuracy is kind of like on his gear. Then we have defense amulet right here, defense ring, defense percent boots. We have attack percent chest, okay? So that's how I'm able to buff up his attack as well. This could easily be defense percent and he'd be that much stronger, but he's usually not the first one to die in my clan boss team, so you know what? It's working. Gloves here with a lot of accuracy, and then the rest of the pieces is kind of just whatever is going to give him good enough stats overall. All the skills are done on this guy, and for the masteries, War Master and support. Pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy here either. And then my Seer, she has not changed in forever. She has really good gear overall, 6-star crit damage gloves. We have a 6-star crit damage amulet, a 4-star accuracy banner, because this is all I had that had the right amount of speed. Ring is defense. Chest piece is HP percent. Again, she scales off of enemy max HP, therefore attack does not matter on this champion, okay? Also wanted a decent amount of speed, which is why I have 2 pieces of speed right here. We have 2 pieces of accuracy for me to have a decent amount. I still needed to be above 220, if not more, a little bit, to eat those buffs. If you're too low, you're not gonna steal those buffs. You're not gonna eat them, therefore you're not gonna deal as much damage. So she needs a minimum, right, of a certain amount of accuracy, sorry. So then we have 100% crit rate, 257% crit damage, 206 speed, and about 250 accuracy. All the skills are done, and she is using Helm Smasher. Okay, so one of my better nukers in the game, or on my account right now. Helm Smasher, and then this right here, Master Hexer, I suppose, is all right. Lore of Steel, also pretty important. And basically kind of like a nuke, right? Ruthless Ambush, a Cycle of Violence, and then the Whirlwind of Death, okay? So there you have it, guys. My current team that I'm going to use for the GAELLEN Pact only tournament. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later.